Hey everybody, this is Diana at the Misfit Journal Maker, and I just want to thank you for joining me today and hanging out. Um, Before I get started, I just want to invite you all to my Facebook group by the same name, the Misfit Journal Maker. Trying to get that started. When I hit 100 people, I have a great big giveaway that I'm going to have going. Also, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit subscribe, leave me some comments. If there's something that you want to see, that you want to learn, I'll do my best to accommodate you. Trying to, help people that are new, don't exactly know what they're doing, and just have some fun. That's what it's all about. So, anyway, today, after much trial and error in the last 2 weeks, we are going to do a tissue paper stained glass. Now, I have not seen this in the junk journal world. It is around, but it is made from, I can't find my originals. I have so many here. Okay, these are the originals. These were given to me by a very talented lady named Barbara. She sent me a snail mail. These are kind of close. Let's see if I can get a little height here. I've got a shadow on my camera I cannot get rid of. Sorry, guys. Okay, so anyway, she sent me these about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been hoarding the heck out of them because I wanted to learn to recreate them before I used them. So anyhow, the ones that I saw all had bases on them. In other words, it wasn't just the tissue. It was on cardstock. It was on copy paper. It was just whatever people chose to put the tissue on. I wanted to do it where it was nothing but the tissue paper, like these originals, okay? And so I had to start from scratch because Barbara didn't remember. It's been a long time. And so I had to go, okay, what could I use? What could it be? My first attempt was this one. I think it was. I actually don't know because it was a lot of trial and error. This here is plain Elmer's glue watered down. It works, okay? But it's still very fragile and thin, okay? It's dull. It did not have the same appearance as hers did. So I knew it wasn't right. Also, you need to do this on wax paper. If you do it on parchment, it sticks. So don't use parchment, okay? Well, you're going to use parchment, but not for the actual way we're going to, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, that was try number 1 down the drain. Okay, now, the next ones I did was this one. Okay, a little bit better. One side of this is just Mod Podge. This side here is Mod Podge. And it's okay, but instead of having the crinkly that I was looking for, which hers has, it went to more of a the consistency you get when you use Mod Podge. It's not exactly a plasticky feeling, but it's not crinkly. So then I decided on this side, I was going to use a layer of Mod Podge and a layer of Multimedia Matte by Ranger, because it says that it is for, gluing, transfers, sealings, and, all kinds of goodies. But it made it very, even more like a kind of plasticky feeling. So then I went with something else because I was thinking, okay, now I got an idea, which was, I was going in the wrong direction, but that's okay. And the reason these look all funky is because I was trying to figure out what pens to use to draw on them, like the originals. On here you can see there is patterns, okay, little flowers, lines, there's all different stuff on these, okay, which is very pretty. But not everything works. Gel pens did not work. They were too thin. they didn't show up. I finally figured out that the best ones to use are acrylic markers with a thin tip, okay? But that's beside the point. So anyway, this one here, strong. This is almost like a plasticky, like, I mean, it's not going anywhere. This is 2 coats of Mod Podge with 2 coats of this. Now this is really cool because if you made a bigger piece and you wanted a journal cover, it would be perfect for a journal cover. If you wanted to cut it and make pockets, it would be perfect for pockets. This is not, oh, I was just going to say it's not going to rip. I pulled it too hard. It will rip, but as you can see, it's got a really good texture. So even this would make like a cool bookmark if you kind of, you know, did a little bit more to it. There's a lot I would do with this, but the biggest thing to me would be making a cover. And even if I'm going to use a cover, I would probably even put a 3rd coat of this just to make it that much more sturdy. Also, if you got it wet, it's not gonna ruin it. You know, it's pretty much like, I would say, waterproof. I mean, and the marker on here isn't going anywhere. So anyway, now that I just ripped it and said it couldn't rip, but anyway, I did pull it pretty hard. So this was a really good idea, and this is something I will use again. Okay, so now let's see. I had to do this in 2 parts because you have to let it dry, and for the sake of the video, I had to make it so that I had time in between. Now, I've lost my... I am not organized today, you guys. It's just one of those days, I guess. Hold on a second here. I hate stopping the videos because before I have stopped the videos, and next thing I know, I'm having to redo the whole thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so one thing I don't know if I just said this or not, forgive me if I'm repeating myself, is there are different thicknesses of tissue paper, okay? And I tried to find some and I really wasn't successful, but I do know there are because of things I've read. So you're going to just take your tissue paper and you're going to get a whole bunch of different sizes, different shapes. Just rip it up. Let's see. I should have a little more ripped up here, but I didn't. So, and it doesn't even matter if it's wrinkled like this from a gift or something, because it's going to wrinkle anyway. And even sometimes when you put the coats on, it even takes the wrinkles out. So, but I noticed it puts them back in once you get through this process. So, let me rip a little bit more. Let's turn this off. I can do it after. Yeah, I've spent about 2 weeks messing with this, and it was no fun. It was just kind of like, what am I doing wrong? How do I do this? And it just, yeah. So, I'm saving you guys all the hard stuff. And I'm sure somebody will come along after me and, you know, with some genius way of doing it that's very simple and easy. And that's okay, because that's kind of what we all do. We recycle ideas. We make things easier if we want. So, okay, that's about enough. Now, the secret ingredient to all of this, which came to me, because I was thinking, what would give me a crackly, crunchy paper? Okay, and the answer is, ta-da, starch. Okay, and I remember my mom getting this for a couple bucks, okay, in a bottle, liquid starch, and it was, or in the spray ones, which you can't use Spray I would not recommend because it's going to dry too quick. And also, I just don't think it would have the same coverage. This is for craft. This is concentrate that is for crafts too, as well as laundry. This was not cheap. I think it was $13. It's for 8 ounces, but you only need 1/4 a cup, and that is mixed with 8 cups of water. Now, I screwed up when I did it because I put the 1/4 cup in and I just filled this little guy, which is a pickle jar. Okay, and ooh, we're stuck. Okay, and this is very thick. It doesn't even need to be this thick. So I would use a couple tablespoons and mix it with water in a jar, and then just you know, if you need more, add it. And if you have friends you want to try this, I would kind of go in with them to get this, because for me this was a lot of money, like 13 something. I bought it because I was so mad at not being able to figure this out. I'm like, if it doesn't work, I'll send it back to Amazon. But it does work, okay? So you need to get yourself some brushes. Doesn't matter what size. I'm going to use like this little medium one. And we're going to stir this up. It's still very thick. And it's a lot more than I could use in forever. So I'm hoping it stays okay in this jar if I use the wax paper. That's another step I skipped with you guys. Sorry. So you need to get your wax paper. Let me move this aside. And put a nice sized piece down, however long you're going to want your paper to be. I already started this because it would have taken forever to do this with you guys. So you're going to start off by putting your starch on the wax paper. Okay. Okay, so then, let's see, give me a color I haven't used. Also, you can get other colors. There's like, I've seen some like 27 different colors, and you know, that's another thing that maybe at some point when I have some extra money, I'll go buy some really gorgeous other colors of wax paper, of tissue paper. So you're going to put this first. You're going to put down the piece that you want. Doesn't have to be in any type of order. It doesn't have to be, you know, just whatever. It's all about what you want to do with it. Okay, I'm going to put another piece of yellow here. I'm making these a little bit bigger. You can make them smaller. You can make them strips lengthwise. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Let's see. Here's a piece I'll use. This is like, for instance. Okay. And you just keep doing this. You go as far as you want to go. I don't have all the colors out here. Let's see. I'm going to get a piece of red. I wasn't planning on making this video today, and then at the last minute I decided to do it. So I'm a little bit off, but that's okay because that's real life, right? Okay. I don't really like straight edges, so I'm going to try to take off the straight edge here. That doesn't matter either. You could have all straight edges if you wanted to. So, okay. So, get some more. Throw this down. Put some more at the top. And it works really well. It doesn't usually move once you're there. And I haven't had any really rip. As long as you're really careful about, you know, how you're going over this. And do it gently. Okay, what other color can we put down here? Let's see, we're going to put some green. This would probably go much faster if you like had all of your papers torn before. Unless you don't care and you're just like kicking back and you're like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm going to just throw this down here. That's a great big one. Okay. Okay, and so on. So you're just going to keep building. Let me do a little bit more. I'm going to add some more pink right here. I don't think there's enough. And I kind of, with this being so thin, I don't care if I overlap it because it also darkens the color and it makes it even that much more sturdy. So I'm not really bothered if I go over. You can do it however you see fit. Down here, I'm going to add some more of this. Okay, orange. Let's add an orange piece. Now, as you can see, this is pretty wrinkled, this orange here. I've got tissue paper all over the floor. It's going to be fun to clean up. Okay, let's see. Now see how the wrinkles went out as soon as I brushed that on. Now see there's a little spot there. And I'm going to just take a little piece and I'm just going to put this right over that spot that's open and voila. Doesn't matter. Okay. Let's use some yellow now. This is kind of a good thing to do if you just want to do something mindless and, you know, not have to think about what you're doing. You just want to sit here and paint on some tissue paper. Let's see. Maybe I'll go out. Yeah. Okay, also I see that it's a little thin right in that corner. So I'm going to once again take another little piece right here. And I'm just going to go over. And it's so thin, you really don't even know that you went over it again. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to go with this. So you can go as far as you want, as wide as you want, however you want to do it. So this, I let it dry, and then I did a second coat. Well, actually, I did the first coat, let it dry. Then I took parchment over the top of it, and I ironed it. I did another coat of starch, let it dry, and ironed it again. So I think that the more crinkly that you want your paper, the more starch layers, and, you know, just keep that process over and over. So, yeah, that's how that part goes. Okay, let me cover this up. I don't know how long starch will last in this jar before it gets bad. I have no idea because I don't know anything about starch. But I'm hoping it lasts due to the fact that it was so much money. But like I said, if you've got friends that want to do this and you're local or even want to mail it in a baggie, you know, I mean, I don't know. Would they think it's something else because it's white powder? I have no idea. But it's definitely worth sharing. Unless you're going to create a lot of this. I mean, tons of it. But that bag of starch is going to last a lifetime for me because I would never use that much. Okay, so let's put this wet one aside. Okay. And you want to wash your brush out because you do not want it to be full of starch. Okay. Okay, hopefully that's not going to fall. Now here's the one I've done yesterday. This is on my second. And see the crinkles now? Hear that crunch? Okay, so this has not yet been, whoops, sorry about that, guys. This has not had the last, so you're going to put your parchment over the top and you're going to iron. Okay, I haven't ironed this one yet again. Okay, and just like when you iron a collar of a shirt and it gets stiff, that heat is what brings out the stiffness, okay? At least that's what I'm saying. And you don't need much, just, that's it, okay? And I don't want to burn anything down, so I'm gonna, this iron gets so dang hot. Let me unplug this, I don't trust it. Okay. This is a $10 Walmart iron, and my gosh, it's like the hottest thing I've ever found. Okay, so now we've done this again, and we've got a lot of crunch. Now, I didn't pull this all the way off because I want to show you guys. When you, at first, it's going to act like it doesn't want to pull up. Now, one thing you could do is when you're brushing on your starch, you could make yourself a little, like, push up on it and make like a little edge so that it's easier to pull up. I didn't do that, but I don't really feel like you need to. If you want to, go ahead. But once you start pulling it up, what you're going to do is you're going to come underneath with your fingernail or something, and you're just going to do it really lightly. You don't want to pull fast, because if you do, you probably will rip it. Okay? So you're just going to pull, and if you get resistance, just try to... Okay, this over here is going to... doesn't want to come up exactly. If a little pulls off on the edges, that's fine. The place you don't want to pull is in the middle, like this. That did rip, but I can glue that. I mean, it's pretty sturdy, but, you know, you still got to realize it's just tissue paper. And, unless you do it with the, with this matte medium, you're not going to get that strength. But I don't want that with what I'm doing. I have a video after this of something I made with this, and I did not want to have it like that. I don't know. This is the second time I used this. That's going to give me trouble now. Don't reuse your wax paper, okay? Because that's not a good idea. That's probably why I'm having issues here. Darn it. Okay, we're not... Figures you get problems on camera, right? Okay, here we go. Come on. Yeah, definitely do not use your wax paper twice. Get a fresh one every time. Wow. Not what I expected. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate here, so I don't want to be jabber-jawsing and rip it. You know, you guys know I talk a lot. Okay. Almost there. Yay! Okay, We're throwing this out. Okay, so now we've got that nice crunchy feel of the paper. And also we've got those really lovely wrinkles, which is also what I wanted. That looks just like hers, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to pull out your alcohol markers. And I can't draw worth beans, you guys. I am just not an artist at all. One of the things that she did that I thought was really cute, and these are not glitter. I want to order some glitter ones, but I'm in the poorhouse right now, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But let's see. Let me try on a pink. Okay, that looks like it's going to work. So I'm going to do some flowers. It's hard to see for me, so I don't know how you guys are going to see it, but gosh, I want to test it. That's the problem. These markers I'm not familiar with them very much. Let's see. Oh, these are cute. Okay. So I'm just drawing little tiny flowers. Now, if these were the glitter acrylic markers, you would see a lot better and it would be a lot cuter. That's a little bit light on there. It should have been on a darker color, like say purple. But then another thing you could do is get yourself the white. Okay. Make sure you have a, and I'm going to go on this purple over here and just like make little X's. You can draw whatever you want on here. I can't draw. So we're going to do the kid version. And you don't have to draw it all if you don't want to. I just think it's really cute. It almost reminds me of like a crazy quilt type thing. I'm just not good at stuff like this at all. Let's see. I'm going to get some silver. And I'll try some dots. Okay, so I mean, you could do Pam at the Paper Outpost. I know I mentioned her a lot. She loves stickles. You could try stickles on here. I don't know how they would work, and they take a really long time to dry. So I think I would stick with the acrylic markers. They do take a little bit longer to dry as well. But, you know, they're still really cute. Let's see. I don't know. Let's try something else. I'm going to try. I don't know if this pink was going to show up. Let's see. Yeah, it does. So I'm just going to do a circle with a dot in the middle. Now, another thing I don't know is if she did this after, or if this is something you should do before you glue the paper. I think when I do this, I probably will not make colors. Or if I do, I'll stick to lines and stars and dots. Because I'm not so great at the rest. She did some really super cute little flowers on hers. But maybe, I don't, my alcohol markers are not very thin tipped. So, that's another issue as far as like drawing on here. And I lost a cover. Uh-oh. I'll have to find it. So let's see. I'm going to just try. I'm going to go like this with some gold. So you can just leave it like that, or I'm going to come over here to this color. It's the same color. And I'm going to do more lines. But then I'm going to go across this way. So that's just an idea, okay? You guys, I'm sure, are much more artistic than me. But these would be so cute on making, you know, putting them on an envelope, putting them on just anything, really. I mean, hey, you guys, we're junk journalers. I mean, I'm sure that there's a ton of you that are going to, like, go behind me and make awesomely gorgeous stuff. But I have not seen this in the junk journal world. It may be out there, but I looked forever on YouTube for something, you know, even similar to this and couldn't find it. That didn't have a base. So anyhow, that is it for today. I hope that you guys understood what I was doing. You know, basically you need your wax paper, you need your tissue paper, you need starch. You could go with the glue option if you want to, but you're not going to get that crinkly, lovely texture. It's just not going to happen. Maybe if you used a ton of coats, but, you know, like we used to do when we were kids, or I don't know if you guys did it. I did it. I used to get the Elmer's glue, put it on my hand really thick, and then pull it off because it was like, you know, rubbery, plasticky. So I'm thinking that's kind of the same thing that's going to happen. You're not going to get, you're going to get like one of the other ones I showed you, okay? But you're not going to get this crinkly texture that you get with the starch. And actually, I think I would like to have a few more coats of starch to make this even more crinkly. I love the crinkle. So anyways, if anybody has any questions, feel free to comment below, or you can email me or come to my group on Facebook and ask away. I love helping new people. I love helping anybody to, you know, make what they want to make for their journals and to do what they love. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great day. Until next